Today, a court sentences police for putting a plastic bag over a teenager's head. And no, this is not the Joe Ferrari case. Meanwhile, Bangkok plans to install drinking water fountains. Dare you drink it? All this and much more coming up in today's program.
Today's show is brought to you by Tiger Property for all your real estate needs in Thailand. Link in the description below.
You're watching Thailand News Today, bringing you the latest top stories in Thailand and beyond. My name is Jet Gunther, and in our first story, South Bangkok Civil Court yesterday ordered the Royal Thai Police to pay about 3.4 million baht in compensation for the false imprisonment and brutal torture of a teenager in 2009. Ritthirong Chunjalern was arrested by Prachinburi's police criminal investigation team on January the 28th, 2009 for suspected theft. During the investigation, police tried to extract a confession from the victim, who was 18 at the time, by putting a plastic bag over his head, causing suffocation and resulting in convulsions. Sound familiar? The police also threatened to kill the boy and dump his corpse into the Ao Iti Mountains if he did not confess to the crime. In other words, they were willing to commit murder over a theft crime. But it turns out the police arrested the wrong man. After 8 years of struggle trying to find the cash to hire a lawyer, Ritthirong filed a civil suit with the Southern Bangkok Civil Court against the Royal Thai Police in 2017 and demanded the police pay him compensation for damages and delete his criminal record from their database. Ritthirong sued 7 police officers who took part in his brutal torture for physical harm, mental abuse, and damages to his reputation and honor. The court saw pictures of the plaintiff's wounded body and heard the testimony of a doctor who examined Ritthirong. The doctor confirmed there were bruises on both wrists, an abrasion wound on his upper left abdomen, and damage to the upper left abdomen, which took 3 days to heal. At the time of the arrest, the teenager had received an Outstanding Student Award from the Siam Motors School of Music in Prachinburi. He had also applied to study at the Police Cadet Academy. So much for that. Police Lieutenant Colonel Wachirapan Pothirat was found guilty of unlawful detention and abuse of power and was sentenced to 2 years in prison and fined 12,000 baht. Wachirapan's confession to the crime saw his sentence reduced to 1 year and his fine cut to 8,000 baht. The court also ordered the Royal Thai Police to pay 3.38 million baht in compensation plus 7.5 interest per annum from January 28, 2009 to April the 10th of 2021, and a rate of 5% per annum from April the 11th, 2021 until the payment is complete. Locals from Nakhon Thong village in the Ratchathewa district of Samut Prakan in the central province of Thailand have asked the media to highlight the provincial government's neglect of their roads in favor of pretty street lamps. Samut Prakan provincial officers continue to ignore residents' calls to improve the district's dangerous roads. The road construction, which was expected to be finished 3 months ago, is never ending, while the project to install fancy, pricey street lamps goes on. Samut Prakan provincial officers are still under investigation by the Office of National Anti-Corruption Commission, but a verdict has yet to be concluded. As a consequence, natives continue to grow restless. Pictures of the district's decorative street lamps are often shared on Thai social media. They usually feature mythical beings combined with traditional Thai figures like the Kinari, which is a half woman and half bird. But the beautiful lampposts are a stark juxtaposition to the area's unkept, dangerous roads. Other local governments in Songkhla, Sa Kaeo, and Mukdahan provinces are all under fire over the same issue. A number of the district's street lamps are solar equipped, which should help save on the government's electricity budget, but many see it as a false economy because each lamppost is reported to cost around 100,000 baht. The road to the village is about 6 meters in width and 617 meters in length. The budget spent on the road improvement project, which began in March, is 7.4 million baht. On the other hand, the 44 street lamps along that same stretch of the road cost 94,000 baht per post, totaling about 4.2 million baht. A quick search on the Buntawan platform reveals you can buy a similar street lamp for about 13,000 baht. A representative from Nakhon Thong village told media that he wanted officers from the Racha Thewa district to care more about its residents. He said, quote, "Ginari street lamps are done already. Please finish the road construction. People have suffered far too long." The chief executive of the sub-district administration organization refused a request by the media for an interview and pushed the responsibility onto the director of the Provincial Public Work Division to provide more information. The director said the construction could not be completed according to the schedule because there is a problem with the locality's waterworks system. So the district office would extend the construction schedule for another 3 months. 400 new pedestal drinking fountains will be reinstalled on Bangkok's pavements. Dare you drink from them? In December last year, the Bangkok Metropolitan Administration assigned the Metro Waterworks Authority to demolish 400 public drinking fountains from the city's paths, which were first introduced in 1999 because they were old, creaky, and lacked maintenance. Metropolitan pedestrians complained to the authorities that they were unable to use the fountains because they were unhygienic, the water was contaminated, and they caused an obstruction to passerby. Bangkok Governor Chhatchhat Siriphant announced yesterday that discussions were underway with the MWA to reconstruct the new public pedestal drinking fountains. Chhatchhat says the MWA insists the city's tap water is drinkable and drinking fountains should be installed to prove the quality of tap water and to reduce the use of plastic bottles. Chhatchhat says he has listened to all the complaints and has emphasized that the fountains would not cause an obstruction and the water would be clean and drinkable. The Director General of the Health Department, Suwanchai Watana Yingcharanchai, told the media that 20% of tap water in Thailand was drinkable, 55% needed to be boiled before drinking, and the rest was not fit to drink because of the amount of iron, manganese, fluoride, and chloride was below standard. The Thai Prime Minister wants to cement Thailand's reputation as the largest Southeast Asian hub for car manufacturing and electric cars, too. Currently, Thailand is the world's 10th largest manufacturer of vehicles. Some of the world's leading automobile manufacturers, namely Honda, Toyota, Mitsubishi, Nissan, Suzuki, Mazda, Mercedes-Benz, Ford, Volvo, and BMW, have manufacturing plants in Thailand. Last year, the production volume of automobiles was 1.69 million. The export volume of automobiles in Thailand was over 850,000 units. Now, Thailand is aiming to assemble electric vehicles, aka EVs, and their parts domestically within the next year. This accelerates the earlier target of 2024. The PM says that the government is, quote, speeding up the promotion of EV assembly in Thailand and plans to kick off the full EV builds in the kingdom during 2023. Speaking at the Federation of Thai Industries yesterday, Prime Minister Prayut said significant parts used in the manufacture of EVs will all be manufactured in Thailand over the next few years. Already, Chinese manufacturers MG and GWM, who currently assemble the Naval H6, Jolion, and Aura brands in Rayong, Thailand, have a strong EV presence in Thailand and have become instant hits with the Thai car buying public. Honda are also building an electric hybrid version of their popular HR-V SUV model at a plant in Ayutthaya. Chinese EV manufacturer BYD is also preparing to set up a new manufacturing plant in Thailand, where it will make electric cars for right-hand drive markets, including the UK and Australia. Prayut noted that EV development of both cars and parts will be a key part of the Thai government's ongoing efforts to restructure the Thai economy, quote, to be more high-tech. And that's all for our report from Thailand News Today. The show will be back tomorrow. Meanwhile, you're now up to date on the Tiger.